Morgan Freeman, a name that instantly brings to mind wisdom, calmness, and a voice that seems to narrate life itself. But behind that composed presence and that unmatched grace lies a story of pain, struggle, and strength, a story that began one fateful night in 2008. Let's go back to that moment. It was August 3rd, 2008, a quiet Sunday evening in Mississippi. Morgan Freeman, then 71 years old, was driving his 1997 Nissan Maxima down a dark highway near his home in Tallahatchie County. He wasn't on a film set. He wasn't surrounded by cameras or lights. It was just him, the open road, and the kind of peace that comes from living in the countryside. But everything changed in an instant. Freeman's car suddenly veered off the road. It flipped multiple times before landing in a ditch, rolling violently across the wet Mississippi ground. Witnesses would later recall seeing sparks and hearing the sound of crushing metal. Freeman was trapped inside the car, injured and bleeding, but conscious. He wasn't alone. His passenger, Damaris Meyer, was also in the vehicle. They were both trapped for more than an hour before emergency services arrived. Firefighters had to use the jaws of life, that massive tool designed to cut through twisted steel, to pull them out. Imagine that. Morgan Freeman, the man whose voice could calm the world, now stuck inside a wrecked car, calling out for help while surrounded by chaos. When paramedics finally reached him, it was clear his injuries were severe. His arm was badly broken, shattered in fact. He was airlifted by helicopter to the regional medical center in Memphis, Tennessee, more than 100 miles away. Now let's pause there for a second. This wasn't just any man. This was an Oscar-winning actor, a Hollywood icon, a man known for his composure and strength. But that night, he was just another human being fighting to stay alive. Freeman underwent surgery that lasted several hours. Doctors worked tirelessly to repair nerve damage and broken bones. They placed metal plates and screws in his arm to stabilize it. At the time, the report said he was in good spirits, but the truth would come out later, that the crash changed his life forever. After the surgery, Morgan Freeman's doctors discovered something devastating. He had suffered severe nerve damage in his left hand and arm. Despite all efforts, the therapy, the rehabilitation, the hope, his arm never fully recovered. He lost the ability to move his fingers and hand completely. To this day, Freeman's left arm remains paralyzed. If you've watched his movies since then, maybe you've noticed it. The way his left hand often stays in his pocket, or the glove he sometimes wears. That's not a fashion statement. It's a compression glove meant to keep blood flowing and reduce swelling, because the nerves in his arm no longer function the way they used to. For anyone else, this could have been the end. For many, losing the use of a limb would have meant giving up on the physical demands of acting. But Morgan Freeman, he refused to stop. He returned to work just months later, continuing to act in major films: Invictus, Now You See Me, Oblivion, The Dark Knight Rises, and many more. He learned to adapt to his new limitations. Every performance required careful choreography to hide his injury from the audience's eyes. Directors often adjusted camera angles, props, and his positioning on set. He never complained publicly, never used his injury as an excuse. In interviews, Freeman has been brutally honest about the pain. He once said, "I suffer from fibromyalgia in this arm. It's the result of the nerve damage. It never goes away. It's like an electric shock that never stops. Imagine that, living every day with constant pain. Every handshake, every movement, every scene he filmed after that crash was a reminder of the night that changed everything. And yet, his spirit never broke. Morgan Freeman didn't let the accident define him. Instead, he turned his story into one of perseverance. He once said that while his left hand doesn't work, it doesn't stop him from doing what he loves. He drives, he acts, he plays golf, yes, even golf, using just one hand. Think about that kind of determination. Even when people questioned if he could still take on physically demanding roles, Freeman proved them wrong again and again. He continued to lend his voice to documentaries, to mentor younger actors, and to inspire people around the world. Let's be honest, most of us wouldn't have known the full extent of his injury if we weren't told. That's because Freeman's professionalism and presence on screen never changed. His focus remained unshaken. His strength became even more visible, not in his physical performance, but in his unwavering spirit. Now let's talk about the aftermath, not just physically, but emotionally. The woman who was with him that night, Damaris Meyer, later sued Freeman, claiming he had been negligent. The lawsuit sparked months of speculation, with tabloids turning the tragedy into gossip. Freeman, as always, kept his dignity intact, never turning the ordeal into a public spectacle. He let the truth speak for itself, quietly settling the matter out of court. And as soon as the dust settled, he went back to what he did best: storytelling. In the years following the crash, Freeman has often used his voice to raise awareness about resilience and the importance of mental strength. He never asked for sympathy, but he's inspired countless people who live with disabilities or chronic pain. Because that's what true strength looks like, not the absence of pain, but the ability to move forward despite it. And when you look at his later films, the calm authority in his voice, the grace in his movements, the wisdom behind his words, you realize something powerful. Every line he delivers carries the weight of that night, the pain he's lived with ever since. Morgan Freeman didn't just survive that crash, he transformed it into another chapter in a life already filled with lessons about perseverance and purpose. He once said, "The best way to guarantee a loss is to quit." He never quit. Even with one paralyzed arm, even with daily pain, even after facing rumors, lawsuits, and physical challenges, he kept going. Because that's who he is, a man who refuses to be broken by circumstance. And if you ever need a reminder of what resilience looks like, just look at him. That calm smile, that dignified voice, that unwavering presence. It all comes from someone who has faced the edge of life and still chosen to stand tall. So the next time you see Morgan Freeman in a movie, remember, every scene you watch is being carried, quite literally, by one strong arm and an unbreakable spirit. His story reminds us that life can change in an instant, that no one, no matter how powerful or talented, is immune to tragedy. But it also shows that what defines us isn't what happens to us, it's how we rise afterward. Morgan Freeman rose higher than ever, and that, my friends, is why his story isn't one of pain, but of purpose. It's a reminder to all of us that even when life takes something away, it often gives us something deeper: perspective, strength, and an even stronger will to live fully. Morgan Freeman's 2008 car crash may have taken his arm, but it couldn't touch his soul. And that's the legacy he continues to live every single day. If you made it to this point, I want to thank you for watching and listening to this story. And if you love learning about untold sides of legends like Morgan Freeman, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because more incredible stories are coming your way soon.